guys, and welcome to today's video. Well, today is a special day because today I own that car for 1 year. So I'm gonna talk about how it was to drive, how it is, how reliable it was. This is not going to be a review like the good things and the bad things about it, because I'm just going to talk about how good it was as a car, reliability and cost-wise. So a full review of how it was to drive will come later in a very upcoming weeks, but now it's just going to talk about how good it was to drive, how reliability, how much was it to maintain, just stuff like that. Because you can have like a Mazda MX-5 and you're not going to have driving comfort and a lot of space, but you can still have a very reliable one or a very unreliable one, and that's the same thing. You can have like a gigantic SUV and it can be an amazing car, very fast, but the reliability can be shit and the maintenance price can be stupid high, and that is what I'm going to talk about with you on this car in this video. So we are going to do the rest of the video in the car because it's a little bit cold and it started raining and I have to be somewhere, so that are 3 excuses to do the rest in the car. But anyway, so I have this car for exactly 1 year right now, and I bought it with 24,000 kilometers, and now the car has 53,000 kilometers. So on a year time I did 29,000 kilometers, which is like quite a lot. I mean, the previous owner did 24,000 kilometers in 5 years, and I have done more than that in 1 year. So yeah, the car never got driven much, and now it really has to work. But how was the car in that 1 year? That's the big question. Reliability, how much is it to maintain it? And to be honest, it was very good. Like really good for a BMW especially. Very cheap, very reliable, even for a 4-cylinder, because I know these are not the best from BMW. The car was just great. Have I had no issues? No, but the issues that I had, oh, my hair looks really terrible. But the issues that I had, they were just so small. They weren't even, big issues, and most of them were covered under warranty. So the first issue that I got with my car was when I got it like 2 months. That it made a very squeaking noise when the engine was idling, and it was a very annoying noise, and it was like a bird was chirping under there. But the engine drove fine, I got no warning, nothing, and when I was driving the chirping got away. So we put a new belt in the car and a new pulley, and it was fixed. So really like a 5-minute job, that was it. So yeah, it was a little thing that got bad on the car, but was it something big? No, and it got fixed under warranty, so that's even better. Okay, so that was problem number 1 that got fixed. Then problem number 2, and I actually already have to think about it, is actually just the heat shield of my turbo started making a lot of noise, but really like a lot of noise. It was like, yeah, it was as if I was in a in a diesel tractor or something. It really was no good at all, especially when idling again, and the heat shield was becoming a little bit loose, and that's apparently a known problem on those cars. But what did I do? Well, I went back to the garage where I bought my car from, and he put a little adapter piece, something little under 2 screws, and that gave it a little bit more structure, and the noise was gone. So really another very cheap fix. And then I had a very small coolant leak. That was probably the biggest issue, and I didn't even notice it, but I check my fluid levels every weeks, and I noticed that the level of the coolant was going down. So I was a little bit in panic because it could be something worse, but it wasn't. It was just a very small thing, and that was it. So yeah, the coolant leak was a very easy fix, and it was under warranty. So those were actually the only 3 things that happened to my car, and they were all under warranty because, you know, the first year I have warranty. Not with the remap, but you know, the guy that I bought my car from is a very, very chill, cool guy, so he wasn't really complaining. So the next thing that got bad on it, actually those were the only things that were really not my fault, and then the other things that I had to do were just maintenance. And one of them was because of me, you know, driving like a maniac, and also, you know, driving the car like a maniac, and I'm also running 120% of my original power. So the car originally has 102 horsepower, but I have 225 horsepower because I did a stage 1 tune with a cold air intake and exhaust. So the car is running a little bit more than its stock power, and it's actually holding up very, very fine. I am driving for 25,000 kilometers now on this tune, and I have zero issues at all. But one thing that happened after a few months is that my clutch started slipping when hot. So yeah, I went through my clutch, but yeah, I mean, I can't really blame the car because I'm running 120% of its original power, and I did burnouts, drag races, everything with it. So, and I have done like quite a lot of stuff. So can I really complain? No. I mean, it's my own fault. I'm 100% sure if someone else bought this car, and even if they did a stage 1 tune it and they just did some pulls, the stock clutch would be fine, because I've heard some stories of the clutch slipping, but most of the times the clutch is fine. But for the more heavy driving like I do, you're better off with a little bit heavier clutch. So I went for a Sachs Performance clutch, and that actually solved the issue. My clutch is not slipping anymore, and I actually drive a little bit less like a maniac now, so I should be fine. But yeah, anyway, and the other thing I went through are the brakes. So really just, you know, maintenance. I went through my pads, and it's also because I drive like a maniac, so that's, you know, it's just a fact. I did track days with the stuff. I went, you know, 200 kilometers an hour, and then braking, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I went pretty hard on the brakes, and they still lasted me 26,000 kilometers. And I also just changed the pads to EBC ones, so I'm just a little bit more confident. Also changed the discs, so a new sensor, so the brakes are all good to go. Brakes, I mean, you always have to change brakes, and I mean, the car had 50,000 kilometers back then, so a first brake job, you know, most cars do 60-70,000 kilometers, but I mean, I can't really complain. It's more maintenance anyway. So the maintenance for me, you know, is a little bit more expensive than just normal, because I went for the upgraded parts. But yeah, if you just installed the same part again, really, I mean, new brakes and pads should be like, I think 300 euros, something like that, plus, you know, labor. And then a new clutch is maybe like 500 euros with labor. For me, it was like 700 euros for the boat. So yeah, my was a little bit expensive, but that was because I did upgrade the parts. And then just, you know, oil changes. BMW says every 25,000 kilometers. I say, you know, screw that, do a little bit, you know, earlier. So I change oil every 10,000 kilometers. I just always went to the garage where I bought it from. I have got 2 oil changes, and my next one is in 3,000 kilometers. And I mean, he charges like 120 euros for an oil change, so that isn't really that bad. And you know, after my 1-year warranty, I can do the oil change myself, and then it's like 70-80 euros. But I just, you know, I really don't like, you know, doing it in the cold, checking up the car, you know, splashing oil everywhere. So I just, you know, pay a little bit extra, go to the guy who is a very nice, you know, the garage is a very nice place. I mean, he's very, you know, honest guy, a very honest garage. And yeah, I mean, I just like to go there. So he just gives my car fresh oil every 10,000 kilometers, and that's like 120 euros, like I said. So yeah, I mean, maintenance wise, the car is good. I mean, it's not that expensive, and just let me tell you, if you don't drive like I drive, then then I shouldn't have changed the pads and the clutch. So yeah, the car is actually pretty cheap to run 220 horsepower. The only thing that I really say that you should do when you tune your car is let the engine heat up before you floor it, because then you will have some issues, of course. And always after a hard run, let it cool down a little bit before you turn it off. So that's really something that you should do, because you will damage something if you don't do it. But anyways, the car has been fine. Only thing, yeah, that's sure, but apparently it's something normal with these engines. They used a little bit of oil, so every 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers I have to add up 1 liter of oil. The car just says it to me, and I also see it with my dipstick, and it's true. I mean, the car needs 1 liter of oil, but that's just 1 liter of oil between each maintenance. So like, how expensive is 1 liter of oil? Like 12 or 13 euros. So not really complaining about that either. There are small things, but really for now the car has been really great. I mean, the timing chain has been good, injectors, no mechanical issues, no hardware issues, no software issues. My car is really good. And I've seen the horror stories on Facebook and stuff like that of chains snapping and other problems, but my car just doesn't have them, and I'm so happy with that, because otherwise I couldn't spend those I couldn't spend that money on modifications and stuff like that. But yeah, this car, reliability, I give it a 9 out of 10. Just some very small stupid issues, but that's really it. So yeah, I mean, I really love the car. I would buy it again if I were myself again 1 year ago. And yeah, it's just a great car. It's really a great car. And I'm not saying that if you buy a 114i with a stage 1 remap, it will be the same for you. I can't guarantee that. But I will say that if you have a good car as I have, then it's going to be a very pleasant experience, because you just have like little minor things, nothing major. And yeah, I mean, I would say go for it. Yeah, I mean, if you have the money for like 135i or 140i, I would go for that one. I just don't have that money. Well, actually, I could have bought a 135i with all the mods I spent on this car. That's true, but I'm just like, building a car is also a lot of fun. But anyway, guys, I'm going to do a review about how this car is just as a daily driver. I mean, about the good things, the bad things, because I drive the car for 1 year now. I've done 30,000 kilometers with it, so I can say what I like and don't like about it. But for that, actually, this video is over. So yeah, guys, I hope you liked it, and I'll see you back soon. Bye. Also, guys, if you want some cool high gloss mirror caps, dynamic blinkers that look awesome, or some very cool M Sport kidney grills, just message me a DM in my Facebook, what I'm saying, Instagram account, and we will match something out, and they're for a very good price. So yeah. And if you wonder what my Instagram account is, it's literally called just the same as my channel, Bimmer Belgium. And yeah, this is it. So already 33 followers since the last video, so that's very nice. Thank you, guys. But just follow my channel, send me a DM very simply, and I will answer it if you have interested in any of my merch. These are the things that I'm giving now, but they are on order because there was more incoming. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.